With shocking revelations and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. After revealing you would be taking time off from WWE prior to WrestleMania to deal with a neck injury, Kevin Owens claimed he still has not had surgery, telling Late 10 Sports, "I still haven't had the operation. There are a lot of things to consider before the surgery. We are waiting a bit to see how things evolve naturally. There's no doubt that I need surgery, but before going through with it, we just need to see how much it can not recover, because it won't recover, but improve slightly without surgery. After that, we'll be able to make a plan and decide what's the best thing to do for the surgery, but it's a very slow process. You just have to be patient. I'm not someone who has a lot of patience usually, but in this case, I have no choice. I had doubts for several months that there was something really abnormal, but it took several months before we diagnosed the actual injury. We found out 2 days before I made the announcement on SmackDown that I wouldn't be able to be at WrestleMania and that I had to stop wrestling immediately. In fact, I was extremely lucky not to be more seriously injured in the match I did at the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, because my neck was already in very bad condition, but we didn't know. The symptoms I had weren't consistent with a neck injury. So we were trying to figure out why I had these symptoms, but we were looking in the wrong places because it didn't make sense. No one could have guessed it was my neck that was affected because of those symptoms. Actually, the symptoms started to appear after my match against Rey Mysterio, which took place on the January 17th episode of SmackDown. So first, we don't have a surgery date yet. I have not had surgery yet, despite reports that are contrary. We're still going to try and figure out what the best way to go about it all is, exactly what needs to be done, so we're kind of figuring that out still. I don't know what's happening with my neck, so we'll figure it out. It would be not arrogant, but false to say right now that I'm absolutely going to return to the ring, that I'm going to have more matches. I don't know if that's true. Going over the possible future of Karrion Kross in WWE, Fightful Select reported that Karrion Kross is in his contract year, and there hasn't been much progress. At the start of June, Fightful inquired with sources close to the situation and close to Kross about an update. Based on what we've heard, WWE has not yet approached Kross about a contract extension or renewal. We haven't heard if they've indicated interest in doing so. Recently, Kross spoke about his contract status being leaked, telling Ariel Helwani, "Whoever did it, that put me over the edge because I think it happened online not long after AOP and Ellering were gone. It was like one thing after another, so I'm still pretty pissed about it. I don't know who did it. It's impossible to say, but I was kind of out of my mind at that moment. It really bothered me because it's about privacy, you know what I mean? Who the hell was supposed to know about that? Stuff gets leaked all the time, so..." It appears that Vince McMahon is once again selling his stock in TKO, with Ringside News writing that Vince McMahon just offloaded another massive chunk of his TKO stock, and this time, the buyer was none other than Endeavor Group Holdings, the majority owner of WWE and UFC's parent company. According to Variety, McMahon sold 1.579 million shares of TKO Class A common stock to Endeavor in a private deal on June 3rd, 2025. The sale price $158.32 per share, for a total of approximately $250 million. The deal officially closed 1 day later on June 4th, per an SEC filing released Wednesday. Endeavor Group Holdings, now a privately held company known as WME Group, entered into an agreement to purchase 1.579 million shares of TKO's Class A common stock from McMahon for aggregate consideration of approximately $250 million, the filing confirmed. This latest sale pushes McMahon's total TKO sell-off past the $2 billion mark, including the $311.2 million he cashed out in April 2024. As of mid-April 2025, McMahon still held roughly 8 million TKO shares, which equated to a 9.8 economic interest and just 4.1% voting power in the company. With this transaction, Endeavor now owns 61.7% of TKO's outstanding stock, further solidifying their grip on the company McMahon built for decades before merging WWE with UFC in 2023 to create TKO. McMahon resigned from the TKO board in January 2024 amid sexual assault and sex trafficking allegations stemming from a lawsuit filed by a former WWE employee. While McMahon has denied all allegations, the fallout forced his exit from WWE's leadership structure. Meanwhile, he's been busy on the outside. McMahon recently launched a private investment firm, 14th and I, based in Stamford, Connecticut. The firm is focused on sports, media, and entertainment ventures, and according to former WWE executive Brad Bloom, now president of the firm, they're targeting everything from buyouts to minority deals. We seek to partner with and empower exceptional management teams, providing deep expertise, capability, and relationships to help drive significant long-term value, Bloom stated. Whether McMahon is pivoting toward a new empire or simply cashing out while he can, one thing's clear: he's not done making moves, even if they're no longer inside a wrestling ring. Providing information regarding his retirement match for WWE and his health leading into it, Goldberg noted on CarCast, "I know the date of my retirement match. No one else knows the date public-wise. I hurt myself a couple times in the past 3 months, but I pulled back. I've got a very high bar to set that I set for myself, and 99 times out of 100, it's unrealistic. I've been in the ring a couple times. I'm gonna get in the ring again today, and it's just tough, man. It is tough." Then you go into the Muay Thai gym and hit the pads and not go crazy, and then blow your shoulder out and blow your bicep out and pull your hamstring from throwing a high kick. I'm not just showing up to show up. I need to show up and be me. That was the first day that I felt really good. I freaking ate 8 times a day, and I walk around and I feel like I'm about to throw up at any given moment because I'm just completely full of freaking food. I was almost up to 270 and I had to back off because I could not function. I felt horrible. I wasn't able to move around. I changed the diet back a little bit. I can't run. I mean, I can run, but it hurts. The kickboxing doesn't hurt that much because I'm not running. I haven't been able to use my arm for 5 years. I had to retrain myself to do the normal daily things and use my arm. I'm terrified to put those underwear, those trunks on again. I may even go with different kind of trunks for the only time in my life. Speaking about Triple H potentially being forced out of his position as head of creative in WWE, Jonathan Coachman noted on the Two-Man Power Trip of Wrestling podcast, "From my time there and my time with The Rock, I know for a fact that he does not get along with Triple H. That does not go away. They've always been butting heads for years and years for a lot of different reasons. The reason I said on my show, there's a big power struggle. Well, first of all, I've talked to 2 people close to the situation. I can't tell you who they are, but I've got really good intel. We predicted that within 18 months, Triple H will not be running WWE anymore. I actually kind of feel bad for him because I've always really liked him. You're going to disrespect Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin and walk them out with everybody else to give a wave to the crowd, and you get your own water music entrance right next to those guys?" With Coachman feeling that The Rock, as a board member of TKO, could be looking to put former WWE head of creative Brian Gewirtz in Triple H's spot, it remains to be seen if this comes to fruition. When it comes to WWE's parent company, TKO Group Holdings, wanting to renegotiate the contract salary of Roman Reigns, Hugo Savinovich told Lucha Libre Online, "I was at the gym receiving information and studying what I'm about to share with you, and wow, honestly, the more I saw the data being shared with me by Lucha Libre Online President Javier Gonzalez and Vice President Michael Morales, I couldn't believe it. After I finished at the gym, I sat down to look at everything. And what I'm going to talk to you about has to do with Roman Reigns. That's right, Roman Reigns. I never thought we'd be discussing this topic. If I was surprised, I think you'll be even more shocked." On the Last Word podcast featuring Jonathan Coachman and Tommy Carlucci, they revealed some shocking news. They said TKO executives are reconsidering how to handle Roman Reigns. While they won't outright release him, he won't be making $15 million per year anymore. Now, why $15 million? Let me break it down. Roman Reigns' base salary is $5 million. But then there are add-ons, pay-per-views, video game deals like WWE 2K, promotional appearances, merchandise royalties. He earns 30% on merch, which is huge, and special bonuses like appearances in Saudi Arabia. Plus, he earns a cut from ticket sales. All of this adds up to $15 million a year. Even outside WWE, Roman is a valuable brand. He has agents, but deals still go through WWE, which takes a percentage. However, the bulk of the money goes to Roman Reigns. Right now, there's talk of him being cast in another Hollywood film. And because he's under WWE contract, WWE still takes their cut, but Roman still walks away with millions. And TKO, they're cutting costs across the board. We've seen recent releases, and there are rumors of more. Remember when Nick Khan, a major WWE executive, announced he was selling $4 million worth of stock? That raised eyebrows. TKO was saying, Roman's not around full time. Why are we paying him so much? So they want to renegotiate. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.